Today's game features one of the best offenses in the NFL. The Saints come in as the top offense in the NFL, and they'll go up against the Falcons defense that wants to meet that challenge head on.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are down on the bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They run it again with Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Garcia. And he will find his man on the outside. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there what they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose. The Saints say they have it, and they do. So the big gain through the air, but scratch it all off because he could not hang on to the football.
And you have to like what they did on defense here. They didn't give up on the play. Big yardage given up, but they still battled all the way to the end and helped force a turnover.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, after getting the ball in prime position to score after a fumble recovery, you think you're in a great spot. But the defense on the field is saying not so fast, and they've held firm on the first 2 plays.
Yeah, the defense definitely showing blitz here. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tyler Varga with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. He spins through. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them, but on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. And it's caught. Kobe Flainer. And a loose football. And the Falcons grab it. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower postgame. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, nice move. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. For the first time with Mark Ingram. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 7. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So out come the Falcons now. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we would be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending conference.
And he's going to get this one down. On defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
To throw is Wentz. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Now Wentz to try again after the pick 6. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Under a minute to go, clock running at a back-and-forth first quarter of play. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The offense staring at a 3rd and 12 here. In motion is Austin Hooper. Now a play fake. Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Falcons. Taylor Gabriel, 77 yards. And the Falcons have retaken the lead. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on now.
Trust me.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. We've become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a second and long to start things out.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun, Garcia. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level.
On play action, it's Wentz. Finding Gabriel complete. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And they give this time to the tailback. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Now Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Vince Beagle, he's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now Garcia to throw. Throwing on first down. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. Now Garcia on first and 10.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Here we go now. 3, 9, 10.
Garcia looking to throw on second down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to New Orleans after this.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
Here's Garcia on first down. And this one is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
All right, here we go.
Garcia now. Going to throw again. Yeah, that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Back to throw. Garcia going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A good pickup there at 20 yards. They go play action here on first down. It's complete. Fleener, right side. A gain of 6 there on first. The Saints in the hurry up here. Clock continuing to roll.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough. Sprinting the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Looking to throw. Garcia, left side and caught by Fleener. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now Garcia to throw. Throwing on first down. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not at all.
Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they...
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The Falcons on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Wentz going to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the Saints signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Matt Bosher now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it. And we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Now Garcia to throw on second down. Dancing to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This is a 49-yard attempt. Right hash. And his kick is indeed good. And that will do it for this. And hello, I guess Larry's halftime show is buttoned through. And we are moving on and ready to go for the third quarter. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you termed that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Wentz to throw on second down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Every now and then, those guys can get lost in coverage. Quarterback didn't see him, perhaps. But, boy, what a pick. And how about the run back?
And the lead is down to 2. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Yeah, here now come the Falcons. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Shift together here from the D-line. Wentz now on first down. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot, and the car